Hi everybody, how's it going? We are here with a general and timeless reading for anybody new tuning in. My name is Gabriella. Welcome to the channel. Before we get started, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. All right. It looks to me like you are completing something, you're closing something out. So this can mean that if there has something that you've been working towards, like finishing a class or finishing a certification, or there's like a timeline that you're clearing up or completing, or a karmic cycle now that you're completing. It looks like that's happening, but I'm seeing you be like very close to the finish line in a way where it's not just you finishing something, you're completing it. Okay, so there is a completion here. Something is coming full circle for you, but at the same time, you may be feeling like some pressure. You know, sometimes we feel like the pressure kind of maximizes as we get to that point where things are about to kind of run downhill from there. It seems like you're right at the point, like maybe right at the precipice, where you're feeling a bit of stress, or maybe feeling even stress to complete something or pressure to complete something. Let's see what's happening here. You might want to get something done too, but I'm seeing you definitely, you want to do it the right way. So it's not only about getting it done, it's about like getting it done in the way that it needs to be completed. We're starting off with the Death card here. This can be associated with a big change or transition for you within your life. Maybe something that you don't feel super happy about. This can be like, I know that this change is happening and this shedding is necessary. Let's talk about Scorpio energy. So all of us have Scorpio somewhere in our charts. Wherever you find Scorpio within your birth chart, maybe the area of life where this is happening. Scorpio is all about shedding. If we think about Taurus, which is the opposing sign on the axis of Taurus and Scorpio, Taurus is about accumulating and collecting and feeling safe and secure, especially when it comes to resources and worldly things. Scorpio is a shedding process where it's kind of like letting go of all of those things. So we don't need to collect. There's something that it needs to be, at this point, cut through. So if there's like an outer shell of something, it's like taking off that armor or taking off that outer shell, or now it's time for me to grow in this way. But the way that I'm seeing this, to have the Nine of Swords on the bottom of the deck, this is like something that may psychologically feel very difficult for you right now. However, with the Death card, it doesn't really leave you a choice. It's like we're changing whether you like it or not, so you get to choose what your attitude is going to be towards this process. But yeah, it's something that may feel a bit more violent, as Scorpio is traditionally ruled by Mars. So yeah, it can definitely be throwing you for a loop psychologically right now. However, this is definitely to help you develop and emerge in a more evolved energy. So it's to benefit you. It just may not feel like that as it's happening, because it can feel like a lot is changing, or I wanted to keep that and now you have to get rid of it. So this is where we are. Let's get further and see what this is about. Scorpio is also connected with spiritual ascension as well. Yeah, here it is. So that stuff within the 3D, the Devil in the Major Arcana, it represents all of the worldliness and stuff that will fall away. So this feels like, because of a progression that you are making psychologically, spiritually for yourself, it means that we are also really overcoming vices, because that's what the Devil is about. The Devil is like a way that we try to get to the light, but going about it in the wrong way, and it's always very short-lived. So the Devil's kind of like a band-aid, but it's not a terminal solution by any means. So this can be anything that you may have been using as a band-aid or as a comfort to you. I will say this too, you may be like further along on your journey and have shed a lot of things, and this is maybe like one of the most difficult things for you to be shedding. Because the devil is always the stuff where it's like, I'm fine giving up everything except that one thing, or except those couple things, and it seems like now you're being tested in a way where it's like, nope, that's got to go too. This is what I'm seeing. And that can be really disconcerting as well, because this may be something that you very much use and rely on, but you're like, that's not a healthy coping strategy for me to be relying on. Because it's something that creates dependency within your life. And you don't have to have that anymore. And so this is what the guides are encouraging you to do, is to really shed this, because it's unnecessary and it's something that's actually stymieing your growth now. I'm also seeing too, for those of you that are going through this, if you're really willing to shed this, if you're really willing to shake this, I'm seeing that you're going to be getting an upgrade. There's going to be an upgrade for you with your psychic abilities. Okay, I'm hearing a couple things. The deal with the devil is that it's something that also will... It will taint your third eye. It's something that is going to kind of put a lens over your third eye, because you're so attached to something, whatever this may be for you. And it can be anything. It's anything within the 3D that has you looking around and feeling like you don't have everything inside you already that you need. So it's feeling reliant or dependent on anything that is outside of you, anything that is not already internally going on. So that's how you're going to know what this is for you. And when you think of the thing that will be like the most difficult thing to let go of, that's where the devil pops up and is like, it's me. So, but yeah, this is something that if you're at the point where you're like, I feel stuck, or I feel like I really want to grow spiritually in this way, this is the thing that needs to go for you. So it's always going to be an option as well. I'm getting major confirmation of this right now. It's going to be an option for you. If you feel like you're not ready for this change yet and you don't want to give up whatever this is for you, you're not going to be forced to give it up. Like, not right now anyway. Maybe not ever. Who knows? It also depends on like how you work with your spirit guides. Because for some of us, like, our spirit guides will literally like yank things out of our hands and be like, nope, that's not happening today. But for others of us, like, it just depends on how you work and how you respond to your spirit guides and how things are happening for you and what you're most receptive to. But yeah, the beautiful thing about this is that you may be clinging to this thing and being like, it brings me a sense of confidence, but I'm seeing it actually bring you like a fleeting sense of confidence or security. Because like when we get down to it, the devil represents Capricorn, and Capricorn is like being very concerned with like the hard work that we're doing and like our legacy and how other people are perceiving us. And specifically in the major arcana, it has to do with anything that is like a material thing. So it can be other people, it can be like drugs, it can be whatever it is for you, like whatever your vice is that you're like, you know what, I don't need to keep doing this, or I feel like I can't be free because I'm somehow chained to this thing, chained to this habit. It's very much a psychological thing with Scorpio being here. So even though it's you interacting with something physically, potentially, it's definitely deeply something psychologically for you going on here. So this is you breaking down and getting to the core of your attachments. Because Scorpio's like, let me get to the bottom of this. Let me get to the inside of it. Let me cut this open and see what's going on inside of there. And this is your attachments. The things that have you feel like, I need this thing outside of myself because I can't provide it for myself, or I'm unwilling to provide it for myself, or I need that person to provide that for me, or I need this thing to provide that for me. So back to what I was saying, even though this thing may provide you with some sort of like safety or confidence, or you may feel like you feel better or maybe more creative when you have this thing, I'm actually seeing that it provides you with like a false sense of confidence or fleeting sense of confidence. And so you getting rid of whatever this is, it's by like really understanding it too. It's not just like, let me throw it out the window and think about it all day, every day. This is something that the Scorpio says we need to get to the bottom of this. So it's not just pushing something away without understanding it. It's getting to the bottom of like why that's happening in the first place. Like, what are we not doing on our ends that we feel like we need to balance and maintain our connection with something else because we're not doing that for ourselves. It's not going to be easy. I'm seeing there be a lot of tension associated with this. But you also feel like you're not getting what you need. This is kind of like you squaring away things that are associated with your values. But you being attached or participating in whatever this is, it is now conflicting with your values, and that's why this is coming up, and that's why it needs to be shed. It's not necessarily going to feel like a graceful ending. There may be a lot of difficulties, more than anything psychologically speaking, but I'm seeing that it's going to be happening, this ending. When it comes to your upgraded values, this no longer fits anymore. It no longer complies, and that's why this conflict, that's why this tension has risen. For some of you, it's even people that you've been hanging out with. Okay. Let's talk about a couple of the things that the devil can be. Devil can be codependency between you and someone or something. It can be like any vices, any habits that you're like, you know what, this isn't the healthiest thing that I do. It can be anything with like food or like really consuming things that you don't feel good about, things that are not moderated, things that you feel like if I just have a little, it gets out of control, or I have a hard time like tempering this. It gets in the way of other things that I'm doing. But I do get this be like I'm feeling like a high level, a high spiritual level for you, because like for the common person, they may not look at this and see it as a problem, but I'm seeing like because of the development that you've been doing and like the shedding and the awakening that you've been doing, you're at a point where there's like a higher level of like sacrificing something that your ego is going to feel like this is a sacrifice, but your spirit is like, we don't need to hold on to this. That's the thing. And so coming back to this space of you looking at your values, this thing now conflicts with your values, and that's why the changing is needed. That's why the changing is necessary. Now, I'm seeing somebody come through sending you a message about, this person's like, hey, do you want to start this thing with me? However, I'm seeing this person be in a space where I don't know what exactly is going down between you and this person within your relationship, but when this person, the biggest energetic thing that you see coming from this person's energy is them being in a space where they're not consistent with you, they don't necessarily understand you, and they do not give you the support that you feel like you need. You feel like this person may be a bit self-centered. I don't know why that's being brought up, but that's what's coming through for this person's energy. Like, you may see them as somebody that's concerned with like getting their own and not so much concerned with balance within your relationship with them. But I'm also seeing there be like some dependency issues, wanting to be able to rely on this person, but them not being somebody that's compatible with that. but definitely can be codependency with this person, or just in some way. Can be psychological, can be emotional, can be sexual, can really be anything. There's something that, like, you may be willing to compromise at times, even though, like, Five of Swords is like, who is going to be like, yeah, Five of Swords, treat me like that? It's like, that's not somebody that treats you the way you want to be treated. You wouldn't feel, this is not somebody that you're around that you feel like is respectful. This is somebody where you're like, you know that this person would definitely, it's like if it were a life and death situation, okay, not to like get that extreme, but if we're getting that extreme, you know how some people, you're like, I know this person would take a bullet for me. This person is not. They will push you right out in front so they don't get hurt. Like, that's definitely the vibe, which it is what it is, you know, no judgment. But the place that this person is in, you may see them make moves and sometimes like overcompensate and do things that are unnecessary, where it's like, I wasn't going to take that from you, or I thought that we were splitting it, but this person may just like really be looking out for themselves. Okay, this person's in survival mode. That's what this is about. This is somebody with a closed chakra, that is like closed heart chakra, that's moving in a space where they're like, I need to take care of myself and I don't have room to be taking care of you. So you may feel at times neglected by this person. To see them as the Five of Swords, you like don't see them as being a particularly loving person. And they're also somebody that, like, you may find them not always telling the truth. You may also be like, this is not somebody that what I would rely on to be like vulnerable with me. You don't have intimacy with this person, because this is someone, again, like the heart chakra is closed. There's like just on the surface of what intimacy you might be able to scratch, and you know that there's more going on beneath the surface, but they're not letting you in, and that's their choice. So I'm seeing a person that you see being characterized within that energy. I'm seeing them come through. So you already know that this person, like, their heart is untouchable, okay? And again, like, this is their prerogative. This is not, like, we're not saying that this is bad. We're not saying that this is good. We're just talking about where this person is right now. They're not in a space to have an intimate connection with another person, because they're not vulnerable with themselves and they're not getting vulnerable with you. They're guarded, okay? This person is coming through and sending you a message. You already know what the deal is with this person, but they're like, nonetheless, hey, you want to come out and do this thing with me? Do you want to start a relationship? Do you want to walk down this path? Do you want to go out on a date? They want to do something with you. You may have more of an intellectual connection with this person, and like you can keep it on the surface and like have a good time with them, but when it comes to like a deeper, like water-like connection, you do not have that with this person. They want to reconnect with you. So if this is somebody that like hasn't been in your life, they're trying to come through and hang out with you and be like, hey, can we start over? Hey, can we like meet for coffee? Can we get a muffin together? So they want to see you, they want to hang out with you, and for some of you, they want to reconcile with you, but I'm seeing them be in the same energy that they've been in. Their energy has not changed. So if you were wondering, maybe this is the time that they come around where they've evolved in the ways that I was hoping that they would, it's not it. If it were any other way, you know, I would tell you, ooh, you guys may have been together in the past. There was definitely something going on between the two of you, whether it was official or not. You were in some sort of partnership. I will say this too. Five of Swords can be somebody that like won't take accountability, won't take responsibility for the things that they do either. But like they see it as them just like protecting their neck and looking out for themselves. The important thing is that there really isn't anybody that you can't have in your life or that you have to have in your life or anything like that. It's more so like, know the characters that are around you, know the people that are around you, and don't set yourself up with these expectations where you're going to be disappointed. Like, This person has shown you time and time again the type of energy that they're in. So ask yourself, if they stay within this energy, is this somebody that I want to be involved with, or is this something that no longer fits in my life? And now we're coming back to this space of there's something out of alignment. To have the devil here connected with this person coming through, there's like some sort of dependency between you and this person where you may kind of act out of character. It's like if you had a metaphorically like sober state of mind and you could be objective when it came to this person, I don't think that this is the type of energy that you would want to be around. But because of some sort of string, bond, cords between you and this person, you may allow them to do things that actually are not in alignment with your values because of the connection that you have with them. And it looks like this is being looked at more deeply now. I'm seeing something about like a relationship or a commitment. For some of you, there could have been a marriage with this person in the past even, but I'm seeing there be like a lot of stress that was connected with this as well. I am hearing your ex for some of you. See, you feel conflicted about letting this person in or like starting this new thing with them, whatever this is. Because you have this feeling. Now listen, this is very important here. This person comes through and they message you. They're reaching out to you. To have Scorpio and Capricorn here, this person is going to have an intense energy. They definitely are savvy psychologically. They're somebody that knows how to like really get inside of your head. And they're also somebody that like you want to be able to rely on this person. With Capricorn, they may bring some sort of structure or stability within your life or some type of order, or have some sort of authority even within your life that you lean into or that you crave to be around. However, an intensity definitely with this person's energy, okay? Scorpio, very intense. And this doesn't need to be like a sun sign Scorpio. We all have Scorpio somewhere in our charts. If this person has Pluto aspected a bunch within their chart, they will have a Pluto dominant chart and they will come off as the embodiment of the archetype of Scorpio. So there's so many different ways that this can be. It's more about what's being described than getting all confused about what's going on in the person's chart. We're going to keep this simple. This person has an energy that is magnetic when it comes to your connection with them. You don't necessarily like the way that they treat you. It may be somebody that ducks taking accountability, responsibility, things like that. However, this person is coming through again, and it's like as much as you don't want them to reach out to you and text you, you also do want to hear from them. And so here they are coming through and being like, hey, what's up? Immediately, you feel tension. Immediately, you feel like, why do I feel conflicted about this person reaching out to me when I really thought that I wanted it? And they're coming through and being like, hey, can we start things like this? I'm trying to see you. I'm trying to reconnect with you. Maybe we got off to the wrong foot last time. Or like, hey, I'm back around. Like, I'm really sorry about whatever, you know, all of that. Again, surface level stuff, telling you what you want to hear. But there's this part of you that's like, something's not agreeing with my values because I've been checking in with myself and where I am with things. I'm seeing that something is like not all right between the two of those things. So because you're getting in a spot where you're like, no, I'm kind of getting a better idea of how I want to be treated, and how you treat me is not compatible with my values. Or I don't feel like we have equality in the relationship, or I do have these particular expectations and you don't meet these expectations. Let's get one more. I will say this too, for some of you, you may let this person back in, but I'm seeing it's ultimately going to lead to a shedding process that's going to happen, even if this round isn't the round when it happens. Yeah, for some of you, you might indulge with this person, but there's this part of you that like knows this is a shadow thing if you decide to. But it's like your guides aren't judging you. They're just going to be here guiding you and helping you when you ask for it. Sometimes also when you don't ask for it. It's like your higher self is on the phone calling up your guides and being like, man, this person's ego does not want to listen to me here within this situation. And we've all been there, right? Something going on between you and this person with finances. For some of you, they want to start a project with you, or you feel like they could potentially provide something for you resource-wise. I just get the feeling that you don't trust this person. So it would be weird making some sort of deal or doing business with them or being further connected with them. But they may have some sort of, for some of you, there's like a financial responsibility or something like that. Or they're saying that they will. For some of you, they want like a more serious relationship is what they're coming through and saying anyway. You trying to make peace with this. I'm going to get further and see. You may be at a point where you want to, whatever it is that this person may have been able to provide for you, the pentacles are sticking out to me. Definitely can be something like resource related, connected with resources. The thing is that if you've been relying on this person to be this person for you, and this is like, this person's going to come through and pay for stuff for me, like this person is giving me money, whatever this is, they're like providing something earthly for me to connect with. There is an opportunity for you to actually like step up and just do this yourself and not feel like, this comes back to the whole thing with the devil energy. It's like you feeling like you need to seek something outside of yourself and even compromise on your values because somebody's going to come through and provide it. And you may be at a point where like, I don't want to compromise on my values anymore. I don't like how you treat me, and I'm going to do this for myself now. Because like, you don't want to have to live by this person's standards or feel disrespected and keep somebody around because you're getting something from them and don't want to make them angry or whatever, you know, or make them whatever emotion it is that you don't want to make them. It's like you may be appeasing or being like submissive with this person, when in actuality, if you weren't like bound to this person, because again, Capricorn, it's like attachments, but also the things that bind us to people, but more so on a psychological level than anything, or in a worldly sense, or through like societal pressures and norms and stuff like that. So you may be getting to a point where you're like, if I'm stepping up and doing this for myself, I become my own boss in this way. And so I get to determine what my values are and also not negotiate them anymore, as I've been in this situation. All right. But it's up to you to make that. But I'm also seeing the stress. It's like, you know that you can make, you turning into this energy, you know that you can channel this energy if you want to. It's a possibility for you. But I'm also seeing there be like anxiety that's associated with this. Like the Nine of Swords is just like worrying about things and being like, it's too stressful, it's too hard, or this is like too much of a nightmare for me to be doing, or it's something where you feel like really dysregulated. So I'm seeing you kind of like know that you can create what you want and be like, hey, I'm the magician here within this situation. I can manifest this situation how I want it to be. I have control over that. But then also there's that pressure of like, oh, I have control over that, you know? All right, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for connecting. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.